What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well, and a very happy Lunar New Year to you if you are celebrating Kung Ei Fat Choi, as they say. I hope you guys are getting plenty of dough if you're celebrating and welcoming in all of that New Year's good luck for 2024. So as we enter into the year of the dragon, which is kind of fitting as the Dominion of Dragons is on the horizon, the lunar portal opens up. And we get yet another chance to grab that elusive anti-minion passive, which we're all about. So the Lunar New Year is going to be running for a 2.5 week period. So it's not the longest event that we've got going on, but we're going to have a look at these heroes because this passive is where it's all at, and hopefully the new heroes can back it up. Zhao Tu and Lao Hu were certainly doing their thing in this portal, and they are they are in the portal again. They're not featured again, but we've got two brand new Lunar New Year heroes. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the whatever this guy is, some kind of ox. Gongniu, I believe is the way you say his name. So he is another 5-star holy hero, which is interesting because I thought they would sort of split it up along the elements, but we've got another holy hero, and we're going to have a look at him. So he is of the cleric class. So it's really good because he gets the mana shield, so he can resist negative mana effects and status effects that prevent the use of special skills. And he is of the Lunar New Year family. So just to recap, because it has been a year now since we last saw them featured, Lunar New Year family features different Lunar Year animal heroes. So each animal grants a different bonus to the members of the Lunar New Year family when paired with at least one other Lunar New Year hero. So this hero gives the Lunar Year Ox bonus. I think I was right in saying he's an ox, which is a 10% defense increase to any other members of the Lunar family. It's a pretty complicated family bonus, and it is very specific and a little bit niche to the Lunar New Year heroes. So it isn't the be-all and end-all for these heroes. What is, on the other hand, is the passive. So we're going to go over the minion passive first, because that is the one that you want. They disable minion abilities. So they have an innate resistance to disable all attacks and abilities of all minions owned by enemies, which means that they can be extremely impactful if you're taking them up against the minion team. I mean, a very good example would be Dio-chan, who's just been recently featured in the Soul Exchange, and we are seeing multiple copies of Dio-chan. And then if you get one of these new Lunar New Year heroes, you're just going to be negating that right off the bat. As you go into battle, the minions aren't going to be able to steal your buffs, and that just makes them insanely good. So no counter attacks, no mana cut from horrible water pipe or Lady of the Lake. They're just taking away those minion effects. No minion anti-minion effect from heroes like Bira. There's a whole slew of heroes that these guys are going to be effective against. So I really like that passive, in case you can't tell. The secondary passive is going to be a health recovery on status ailment received. So I've said it before, I'm not the hugest fan of this. I like the buff one, but it is still good. So when the character recovers 10% health when they receive a status ailment or a negative stack. So yeah, it's good, but it's all about that minion passive with these heroes. Now moving on in terms of stats for Gongniu. We're looking at a team power of 983. So again, from these sort of seasonal heroes, we don't tend to see them as the highest stats, but they are really, really good still. So 875 on the attack, over 1,000 defense, 1,042 on the defense, and 1,864 on the health. So really built as a very defensive, very survivable hero. As far as the art's concerned, I think he looks dope. I do love the theme that they're carrying on through with these animal heroes, and I think there'll be a lot of nostalgia for many people with these heroes. So If we do go on to the special, which is what I really want to do, we can see he's running at slow speed. Bit unfortunate, but that's what he is. And his special's called Rejuvenating Elixir. So it sounds like we've got some kind of healing going on here. Let's see. So all allies get plus 54% defense and a further 5% increase every time they're hit during 3 turns. And all allies recover 1,000 health after 3 turns. If the effect is removed or replaced before the duration ends, recovers 1,400 health instead. And all allies gain 25% mana after 3 turns. Again, if the effect is removed before the duration ends, gains 35% mana instead. So there's quite a lot going on with this special. Let's just break it down bit by bit. So first of all, upon his cast, nothing is really going to happen except this first part of his special. So all allies are going to get an increase of 54% defense and a further 5% increase every time they're hit during 3 turns. I do like the order of that because it means it's going to make your team more survivable. The only downside with that is I can see is that he's running at slow speed. So by the time that he fires off, you're really going to need that additional defense because you might find that some of your heroes are already down to or on their last legs. So that is it's really good, but it's also kind of counterintuitive because he's just running at slow speed. So I kind of wish he wasn't running at slow speed already. But the next parts of his special are super cool. So the recovery of 1,000 health after 3 turns. Again, the problem is that you have to wait for that health to kick in, and you've already had to wait to charge him up to fire at slow speed. So another 3 turns after that. But if he does get to fire off, you're going to get a guaranteed boost of 1,000 health, which is really useful. And if the effect is removed or replaced, so if it's cleansed, for example, or dispelled, he's going to increase by 1,400 health instead. And the mana gain after 3 turns, I mean, it's cool, but it's not really something that you can plan around in the battle. With the mana gain heroes, you really want to be able to plan around firing them off and using them to enhance the other heroes that are around. Because he's slow, it means that when he fires off, you've just got to fire him. You've just got to wait those extra 3 turns for that effect to kick in. So this is really unfortunate because I think this could have been an insanely good hero. I think that he is just too slow. If he's going to have to wait 3 turns for the effect to take effect, if I can say that, then you want him to be running at average speed because he's going to need to wait those 3 turns out. Yes, the defense gives more survivability, and I don't think he's a bad hero. Like, I would have to say like an A grade hero just because of the passive. But the special skill, I just don't think it's running fast enough. I think that this hero is not going to be as impactful as you would hope, but I do think you will use him all the time, pretty much every single day in raids, because whenever you go up against a minion heavy team, you're going to want to pop him on there regardless. And he can be pretty powerful under the right circumstances. But yeah, probably not the best of the minion heroes. I mean, the Lunar New Year heroes. I would probably rather have Zhao Tu or Lao Hu with that damage and everything else. So yeah, unfortunate, but still a good hero. Now moving on to Quing Long. I've probably just butchered that, but that's the best I can do. So Quing Long is a nature hero. So we've got another element in here. No dark heroes just yet. So we've got fire, we've got holy, and we've got nature in this portal so far. And he is going to be a wizard. So that gives him the chance to jinx, and a chance to deal an extra damage per active buff the enemies have. And again, he gets the same Lunar New Year family bonus. So actually his bonus is then for the dragon. It is the year of the dragon, by the way, in case you didn't get that from my intro. So yeah, he should be our sort of most sought after hero for 2024. He's certainly going to bring you a lot of good luck if you manage to summon him. So So he gets a 15% critical chance. Again, he gives the bonus to the Lunar New Year family heroes if you do have any others on your team. And again, he gets the same passive. He doesn't get a secondary passive, which is interesting. It may just be because of the differences in speed. If you see, if we just skip down, he's running at very fast speed. So that may be why they've decided not to include any secondary passive for this hero. But that is just conjecture. I mean, it might be a mistake. I've seen it happen before where they haven't included it, and then like 6 hours after they release the heroes, suddenly they've got a new passive, which is, typical Zynga and Empires and Puzzles strategy. If the portals aren't going the way they want, let's just add a few more passives onto the heroes. That'll do it. Anyway, so in terms of stats, 983 team power, so again, very, very much the same. But then he's more attacking, 1001 on the attack, 953 defense, and 1726 health. So really good balanced stats across the board for Quing Long. And his special skill is called Confident Strategy. I like the sound of that. That's what you want when you're going into battle. Some kind of confident strategy until you get blown out of the water. He's running at very fast speed, as I said. At very fast speed, he's going to be dealing 160% damage to all enemies. He steals the latest dispellable buffs from all enemies and randomly distributes them on allies. That is powerful. All allies get plus 8% attack per transferred status element effect buff for 2 turns. Okay, I mean, the last little bit is really cool, but that's not where it's at with this guy. I mean, he is basically like all of the best things that you want about the Hatter, but with the minion passive as well. He doesn't dispel all buffs, just the latest dispellable buff from all enemies, but that doesn't really matter too much. I still think that is a really, really useful effect. So it's not a huge amount of damage, but it is to all enemies and running at very fast speed. He is leaning more towards the attack, so I believe that 160% is going to hurt. And in terms of the ether talent, which will be quite important for him because he's running at very fast speed, you're going to likely be able to take advantage of this. So don't forget that the special boost ether talent means that at the start of the battle, his special skill will deal an additional 30% damage for 6 turns. So technically, when you fire him off, if you fire him off within the first 6 turns, he's going to be dealing a total of 190% damage to all the enemies. So that definitely makes a difference. But I think this guy is going to be a fantastic hero. I don't think he's super overpowered, so I think that, I mean, you can survive against him. I don't think he'll necessarily be the best defensive hero, but I certainly think that on offense, with, again, like I said, that minion passive, and also the increase of attack for all of the other allies as well, even though it is only for 2 turns, remember, he's running at very fast speed. So yeah, I mean, neither of these heroes are super duper powerful in terms of the actual effects that they cast, and neither of them have things that we haven't really seen before, except for, I guess, with Gongniu, because he's running at slow speed, that massive boost of health. But like I say, they're not super powered heroes, but they are really good heroes in terms of that passive. So for Quing Long, I'm gonna say A+. Maybe I'm expecting too much, but I'm slightly disappointed that we haven't seen these heroes in the same kind of realm as some of the other relatively recent releases. I mean, especially like the Three Kingdoms portal. This hero, where is she now? And I know we've got another hero in the Covenant. There we go. So Ziji Jing, I mean, she's just an absolute monster, and these guys really can't hold a candle to her, except for the fact that they get an incredibly good passive. So that is about all I've got to say on these Lunar New Year heroes. In terms of the odds in the portal, you've got a legendary featured hero chance of 0.8%, non-seasonal featured of 0.5%, so a total of 1.3% chance to summon one of these guys. So I wish you guys all of the best of luck in your summons. You also can get the perfect 10 bonus, which is interesting, which gives you the chance to get, I think it's an extra a random legendary seasonal hero, and a Tomb of Ascension, Tomb of Experience. I mean, that's pretty damn tempting, I can tell you. And I probably will be dropping a few pulls in this portal because I still need to get my hands on one of these Lunar New Year heroes. But yeah, I wish you guys all of the best of luck. Please do drop us a like and subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. Let me know in your comments what you think of these two new heroes, Quing Long and Gongniu, and I will see you all again in the next video. Bye for now.